What's up guys, I've just arrived at the Irish Open. Look how massive this place is. It's so cool. Not sure of what my plan is today. I'm going to jump in the mini later. Tomorrow we've got the Heads Up Championship, so I don't know if I want to be staying up late playing / drinking Guinness. Unfortunately not going to be playing in the main because I wasn't able to sassy in because I suck. But there's plenty of other stuff going on. And there sure was plenty of stuff going on. Okay guys, first things first. Give this a go. It's meant to be good over here. That's actually alright. I don't hate it.
I think you just got the Irish spirit in you.
I sure do.
Probably can't do that here.
I don't think it's a hate crime.
Like close.
We'll put it on the blog. Let me know if you think that was
A hate crime.
inappropriate. I headed down to jump in that mini main. It's a €200 tournament, meaning every man and his dog was in there. People were max firing this tournament. So I in no way expected to bag my first bullet, as only 5% of the field will get the bag. And I didn't. I headed home past Ball's Bridge, erected in 1791. I'm here at 11 AM, which is very early for poker players. I'm going to be relying on some hangovers in the field today. Let's go. It's not often you get to play heads up for such a low buy-in, and it's sold out. And look at these heads up tables, so you get 2 dealers, 1 on each end.
Heads up championship, a risky game to play. Pocket.Peg's got nerves of steel, she'll battle night and day.
So we started off and I was cooking. I took a strong chip lead. I felt super confident. I was having a great time. And then I ended up getting in Ace King V9s to win the round, and we lose the flip. I then called off with Ace 5 off, which I wasn't too sure about, and ended up running into Ace 10 and losing there. I looked it up and it was pretty much absolute bottom of the range, so maybe because I thought I had an edge on him, I could have folded and just used my skill edge later. And I'm not just saying that, he told his friend later that I should have won. GG. I'm out. Had a bit of luck in this risky game we play, and fortunately I was on the wrong side of it this time. But yeah, had a lot of fun. Absolutely love heads up and can't wait to play again. So the next day I headed back down to the Royal Dublin Society to play in the €350 America's Cup. Okay, first break. It's been going very well. I've won quite a few medium-sized pots. I'm up to about 45k. I lost a weird one at the end though. Called Queen 9 suited on the big blind against under the gun. The flop was 6-6-7. This is good for my range. I don't do much leading. And I had Queen 9. I felt like he was c-betting too much, so I check raised quite light. And he calls, and then there's a 9 on the turn bringing in the flush. I decided to check this because I'm going to be raising quite a few 7s as protection, and also trips are a little worried about the flush. And then the 4 of diamonds comes in, so it's 4 flush board now. I decide to block the river here, and he raises huge, and I figure even his overpairs without a diamond still beat me, so I don't kind of want to bluff catch with this combo. I could bluff catch with trips sometimes. So yeah, I folded, but not sure about that one. So looking at GTO Wizard here with the Queen 9 suited with the backdoor flush draw, it doesn't mind a raise, but most of the time it's just going to fold. There are so many other combos of raises here on this low paired board. It's 0 EV, but like I said, I thought he was c-betting too wide, so I think the raise is fine. So on the 9 of diamonds turn, it does like checking with the Queen 9 if you do raise it, because it is starting to check with some of these trips combos, and also 7s, like A7 that you would check raise. And on the 4 of diamonds river, it does just like to check here. Block bets here are coming from straights and trips some of the time. It doesn't like block betting with the Queen 9, I'm guessing it's just too weak, but it wants to use it as a bluff catcher. So if I check and they bet half, it does want you to call with the Queen 9 suited. However, I think people don't bluff 4 flush boards as much as they should, so it could also go into your folding range here. Okay, so then we really started to cook and ended up building this huge stack. Having aces always helps. But I had an amazing rail for a while as well, and that makes all the difference. Okay, we're looking pretty good in there. We've absolutely spun it up. I now have 220k. There was a weird hand where I had kings. It was 8-8 on the flop. I bet 2 streets. There's a queen on the turn, and then the small blind leads into me on the river, half pot. I guess I call, and he just had like queen king. It's like I win. It's been going good. It's nice to finally be cooking. And then this wanker joins the table just as we make it to the money.
Hey, in the money! Look at that. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Very happy to have my flag.
Ireland flag. 40K up top or something. 103 left.
I want a final table.
You know, Jake actually has a hair more than you.
I missed the hand.
Oh no! How dare!
You've heard that Jake has more than me, and I'm not worried about this. I'll spin it up, you know. I'll spin up these 40 bigs. Jake sucks. Not as much as TJ Reid.
I wish you the best of luck, Margaret.
Thank you. There's about 70 left and 2 more levels until we bag, so let's get that bag. GG with the 6s. So this was a spot I didn't have to take, and it's hilarious if you look at the solver. So low jack opens, I've got 15 bigs in the hijack and pocket 6s. I decide to go all in, hoping to take it down or for a flip. I get called by queens in the big blind and ace king, so I'm pretty screwed. But yeah, if you look at the solver, this is what it says to do with pocket 6s. Then it was spin and go time. So we got the Guinnesses in first. Jake did a terrible spin and drew the minimum prize you can win, but I was still determined to get that 100 euros. Here is the most boring pot ever, where we both check it down to the river and we both have jack high. In sit and goes, you just get super short, where the average will be like everyone has 5 bigs, so there's a lot of all-ins. This queen 7 off was enough, and I got a decent hand.
unfortunately I lose to Lisa's 69.
69.
So she gets a double up but was super short. We were all still in the game until Lisa got knocked out. Then it was me and Jake heads up for the win. I was dominating this heads up, and then he shoves about 3 big blinds. I call off my queen 10. He has ace king.
Come on, the queen 10.
Go with the queen 10, honey.
And we lose.
Bollocks.
So Jake is back in the game now, and I am a bit short.
I've got like 1 big. I'm all in. Are you slow rolling me?
So here I get queen 6 in against queen 5 off. So I'm absolutely buzzing, hoping for a double to be back in the game.
5 in the window.
There was no 5 in the window,
Not happening. Not happening.
but to my disgust,
Chop. Chop, chop, chop.
It's not a chop.
and then I was priced in to call.
I like my hand.
4-8 of diamonds. It's a pretty nice looking hand when you've got 1 big blind. And I was up against ace 4.
Okay, diamonds 1 time.
I think this is the only time I've called for 1 time at the table, and I've just thrown it away on a spin and go. 200k in earnings, and this was Jake's first heads up win. I'm very proud of him. Happy ladies event day. It has already started. It's a good job I came in early because I thought it started in an hour. Look who it is! Ah, she's so mysterious. Where does she go? If we burst, we'll be jumping in that mini again. So yeah, let's have some fun. Right guys, first break. We got off to a good start with a great bluff in the first level. Okay, so this hand was pretty spicy. I raised pocket 2s under the gun, 100 bigs deep, small blind 3 bets, and I come along as you should. With most of your pocket pairs here. The flop is 6-5-3. They're going to c-bet at quite a high frequency here, so they bet half pot, and I go for the call here. And there's actually no raise. Even though you have more of the sets here, you're not putting in a raising strategy pretty much at all, which is quite surprising. The turn is a king. They do continue, but a slightly smaller sizing here, so they go for around quarter, third pot. So let's say they bet 12, and I go for the raise here with the pocket 2s. It's definitely okay to find these raises. It doesn't mind it at all. So I do go for a kind of 2.53x raise, and they do put in the call. Their range here on kind of ace king, king queen, maybe ace queen that they'd be bluffing. The river is an ace. They check this through, and I do go for the jam with the pocket 2s, which is saying you should definitely be doing this and finding these bluffs. And if you look at their calling range, they're meant to be calling pocket queens, king jack here, king 9 if they have any of this stuff, and ace king. I'm just saying that I have a set here, so I think I'm going to get even more folds than I should here. I think you're only going to get aces and kings. Also, the SPR was larger because some of the bet sizes were smaller when it actually happened, meaning that they're supposed to call even less, and they did fold in the end, so I was very happy with that. And then I called off with a flush draw. Pretty much had the odds to call, and I didn't hit, which was a shame. It was a huge pot. I've just been chipping down, and then I got nearly a triple with pocket 7s, so up the 7s. Let's keep it going. Feeling better now. Second break had a good few levels. I ended up with aces against kings, 4-bet bluff, king jack suited, and took it down with a c-bet, which was nice. Got 100k, averages 55, 163 entries, 73 left. And yeah, let's go. And then I ran queens into aces, 9 away from the money.
But there was no time to be sad because it was time to get back into that mini main. Bullet number 2. Let's see if we can get the bag this time.
Fifth bullet fired, they're running out of time.
Immediate double up with pocket queens always helps. I was playing this tournament with a couple of mates and we were just getting the rounds in. I figured the best strategy to play the mini main was to get into the true Irish spirit and to drink as much as I possibly can.
Congratulations, you're all in.
Yay! Woo! I'm not gonna lie, I can't really tell you a hand from this night because I was just having fun. But I do remember getting a double up on the bag bubble.
Let's see the river.
Pretty spicy, to be fair.
Or 9. And it's a 6 off clubs. We got a
Time
seat
just
open.
flew and I didn't know what was going on, and then they just put bags in front of us and I was like, okay, day 2, let's go. Oh yeah, and then it turns out I was the chip leader of that flight and had absolutely no idea. And there was only one thing to do next. It was head down to the crack den where we saw the actual Spice Girls reuniting on stage. Incredible moment. And then Finton and some other guy did this, if you can call it a dance. Then it was the Backstreet Boys singing I Want It That Way. Felix and the gang, they were absolutely amazing and performed it again after they won.
For fortune and for glory.
The crowd was just going wild. And this guy ripped off his shirt and the button landed in Blaze's drink, and then he went all freestyle and everyone was just absolutely loving it. Then we were just dancing and having some fun. It was a great night in the crack den.
What's up guys, it's a miserable day, but I'm heading in to play the main event. It's my second ever 1K. Very excited, had to sell 80% of myself, but I'm there for the experience and for the win.
I know I said I wasn't going to play, but here I am regging the main event right now. A lot of people told me to get in the event and offered to buy my action just because the value of this event is so crazy. It ended up being 600,000 euros for first place. Okay, I'm on my first break. I sat down for 4 hands and haven't played one, so yeah, it's so busy here though. I felt confident, full of hopes and dreams, and then I looked down at aces and I get them in against kings. But there's a king on the flop, so I lose half my stack very early on.
Lady luck is smiling, or is she passing by?
I was gutted but knew I could come back from it. Dinner break in the main, it's been going pretty well. I've chipped up back above starting stack. I got 62k, which was very nice after the whole aces fiasco at the start. But I still believed and I kept going, and I flopped top 2 and got full double. In this hand I flop the absolute nuts. The cutoff opens and I call queen 9 offsuit in the big blind. Flop comes jack 10 8, we've got the nuts. Standard check through here. He c-bets. This is a range bet board from the cutoff here. He goes third pot and I go for the check raise with the queen 9. There are a lot of other bluffs coming from when you have a queen as a blocker to the nuts and a backdoor flush draw. He pops in the call and the turn is a kind of irrelevant 4. I just continue here going for value, setting up for a jam on the river. The river is a deuce, standard all in on the river from me, and he does end up folding and shows me pocket kings. Now this is really interesting because I've had a similar spot to this where I was bluffing with something like queen 7 with a backdoor flush draw. So some of my all-ins here, like the bluffs here, queen 7 of clubs, let's say I bluffed with that. And that time the guy folded pocket aces. So this has happened twice in a very similar scenario, and both times I've had the folds. The question is, should I be bluffing even more? And I think the answer is yes. Against the right kind of player who's going to believe you every time, you don't want to do it to a fish or a calling station. But a solid player who won't think I have enough bluffs here will fold very, very strong in their range. Final break of the day in the main. I've chipped up to 130k. Won a couple of nice ones. I was bluffing king jack suited. Mid position, big blind calls, ace queen flop, c-bet, call, turn is a 6, I bet again, he calls, and the river, I just bink a 10. And I just go kind of like bet 60. Wasn't quite, I didn't want to jam because I kind of wanted to just target aces and stuff, and he called me off. So we took that one down. Oh, the flush did come in as well, so I didn't want, like I'd probably polarize jamming with my flushes and my bluffs there. But yeah, it was good. Then unfortunately I lost a 60 big blind flip, which set me right back down to around 30 bigs, and I started chipping down towards the end of the day. Now I was on the slowest ass table in the room. You can see everyone bagging up right now, and we were still like 2 hands away. Last hand of the night. I'm under the gun. I peel a king. I'm like, okay. I then peel another king. So I'm like, okay, let's go. I make a raise, and I get 3-bet by the button. I probably could just call this here because it's so strong, but I decide to just rip it in. I've got 12 bigs, he slightly covers me. So I get it in, he calls with ace king. And we hold, let's go. Now I made day 2, 96k in the bag. So yeah, can't wait for tomorrow. What's up guys, it's main event day 2 day. How are you feeling?
Optimistic.
96k, let's keep it going.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Okay, first break I got the lucky double up and then won a few pots, but then I ran into trips twice. One guy, I'm not sure if he angled me, but he turned a boat. I had ace queen and he dropped a chip in by accident, so I just called off. He bet the river and it was an ace, so I kind of had to call that one, and he showed the full house. So either an accidental drop or trying to look weak, and he got me. And then I ran to trips again, so I'm down to about 12 bigs now, so let's spin it up. My video actually cut out, but I was actually feeling pretty bad at this point. I sucked out early on with king jack suited against ace king, and the guy who I beat wouldn't stop talking about it in Dutch. And they were just constantly bringing up this hand. I could hear it, and they were laughing and giggling at me. And when I lost a hand, they were giggling at me, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. So I was actually struggling with this. I've never faced anything like this before. So I just put my headphones in and carried the fuck on. Here we've got Rosalie, coin poker, let's go. We're still in the main. Woo! GG in the main event. I standard spot, I shoved king jack off on the cutoff and got called by ace jack. Yeah. It was a weird day, definitely, but it was a good experience, especially day 1. Okay guys, it's day 2 of the mini main. I'm coming in about 98th in chips. The average is 600, I've got 715. Blinds are all back to 25k, so starting with 30 bigs. I'm feeling pretty good about it. There's still a lot of recreational players in the field, so yeah, I'm going to choose my spots. I'm waiting for that prize pool at the moment. 1.5 mil down to nothing in 3 hands. So I shoved in the small blind, big blind had 10 bigs. I had king 9 off, he had ace 9, so we lost that. And then there was a weird hand, I opened ace 3 suited from the cutoff. The small blind 3-bet 3.5x, and the big blind put in his stack, which was pretty much the same as his 3-bet, so I was kind of priced into call, otherwise I would have folded. Flop 2 kings, he bets large, I had nothing, I fold, so lost a big one there. And then yeah, king jack off on the cutoff. I was like, oh god, because this is what I busted the main with, and then yeah, called by 5s, and I had the straight draw on the turn and couldn't hit any of my outs. So yeah, GG Island, it's been fun. So I finished 122nd out of 6,500 players and took home a nice cash of 1,600 euros. At the same time, the main event was down to the final 2 tables, and our friend TJ Reed was still in the mix.
I want a bowl of macaroni and cheese.
Congrats to TJ, he finished 10th in the main, and then we played a little 1-2 home game, which was probably the most fun I've ever had playing poker. They were not happy I made them do that. So then I lost all of my chips and I had to reback in. I tilt rejammed 6-5 suited because I felt like gambling. This is not how I normally play poker, if you're wondering. It's kind of more like I want to take the opportunity to cooler my friends, even if I lose 100 euros.
Wait for it.
And I rivered a straight. So I was in against the 2 lads at the end.
I have a straight.
Yeah, you win.
Turns out Archie had flopped top set and said to Dan, I can't lose this. And Dan had 2 pair in a blind all in. However, I am disappointed I didn't slow roll because that became a big thing later on. I tightened up a bit after my triple up.
Medium, you're in trouble.
So then King Toddy sits down at the table, Goliath winner 2023, which was my first ever vlog. He also has a vlog, so go check that out. And then the celebrity appearances keep on happening. The 6th place finisher in the main sits down next to me. Him and his mate decide to play 1 card each.
I've got a 5. What did you have? 4. Oh, fuck. I nearly doubled him up.
Right, let's chop up. The game was good. The game was good. Let's talk about it.
Poor Archie was going through it that night. He kept getting cooler, but no one cared because he just won 250k. And then we get Miss Jo Kim on my right.
Archie, show the fucking King of Diamonds bluff.
Oh my Yeah, King of Diamonds.
I knew it! Yes!
This was Blaze calling Archie's exact bluff. The Essex boys continued to run bad. Yes, that's what you deserve after getting 6-figure scores. We left that place at about 6 a.m. Some of us up a bit, some of us down a lot. I was up about 60 euros overall after about 8 hours of play. But yeah, one of the best nights of poker and an amazing trip to Ireland. Thanks to my 2 cashes in Ireland, I am now officially the best Peggy Crawford in the world. Next up is Vegas. Let's see if I can become the best Peggy in the world. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.